I just got back from 2 back-to-back combat deployments in Africa. And did it change my physique? I documented myself from 2024 to 2026, seeing how much I've cut, how much I've bulked up, and how much muscle that I've gained to become jacked and looking good at the age of 21 years old. What's going on? My name is Jadon, and today our topic is about how I changed myself in 2 years on deployment. Well, basically, during 2024, I shipped off to Africa to do a mission. And I was there for 9 months. I worked hard. I was preparing for this deployment. I was like, my first deployment, I'm going overseas in Africa. I'm gonna work super hard. I'm ready to just fight and prepare for war, right? I can't say too much of what I've done there. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble, but let's just say that I've seen some things, done some things, and I've worked hard. I believe I really worked hard. What I really worked hard on was my physique, how I looked, how jacked I got. Because compared to how I left, I was still in shape. I still took care of myself. But I think I've gained a lot of muscle, especially in my legs. That's the main thing, because my whole unit, my whole team used to make fun of me because of my legs and how my legs look and everything like that. But I think I fully got my complete body now. I really have it set. I upped my cardio. I did some martial arts, especially on my second deployment that I did, which was an extension of my first one. So the first deployment that I went on, I started off by bulking up. There was this food court area where you can get whatever kind of food you want, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I did whatever I could to get bigger because I was 100 and because I was 203 pounds. I bulked up. I ate for breakfast. I would have 6 eggs, a cup of spinach, and 4 chicken thighs, along with a cup of oats and some water. Then for lunch, I would have 4 chicken thighs, a cup of rice, and some veggies and some beets. And for dinner, I would have 6 more eggs, 2 chicken legs, 4 chicken thighs, 2 cups of oats, and a protein shake. I would have that every single day for basically 9 months. So I got pretty big. I got pretty muscular. My cheeks got a little bit puffier, obviously. You're gonna see some pictures on screen right now. But eventually I started to cut down on my second deployment, which I extended because it was just so good. I felt so good. The money felt so good. I had to stay. I had to do it. So I stayed for another rotation and I was able, wait, let me go ahead and backtrack a little bit. The way I was training on my first deployment was that of a monster. I really just wanted to gain muscle. I wanted to grow. I wanted to prepare. I got chosen to go on deployment because I had no choice. But I was like, this is a good opportunity for my own personal life, financially, physically, maybe even mentally. And I made sure that I was going to drain the military out of all of its freaking benefits. And I joined or not, but I think this is very beneficial for me because during months 1 to 3, it was a little hectic. Everything was going crazy. I didn't know what to expect because it was kind of brief on what the previous members who told me about when I went over there. So I actually went there. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was actually pretty nice. Training. There was a free gym, so I made sure I went to that baby after every single work day. Every single work day, I had the chance to do it. I made sure I did it. So I went ahead and did that. I trained mostly my legs for the most part. I was making sure the diet that I was eating was really good. And I went from a whopping 203 pounds to 217 pounds. Now I'm a hard gainer. I have a high metabolism. I think now I can gain mass because I actually know what I'm doing. But even 2 years ago, I was kind of a little iffy on what I was doing. I was still in shape. I was still jacked. But now, I was really figuring out how to do things. I was learning. I was studying. I was scheduling what to eat, how I would eat it. I was drinking a lot of water there. I was just experimenting on myself. I was like my own doctor. I was trying to see what works best for my body. So I went on videos like this. I'm here, guys, if you want to learn how to do this is how you do it. And whatever questions you guys would have, if anyone were to ask me something, I would be like, say for example, someone wants to ask me, hey, how do I gain some weight as ectomorph trying to gain some mass? First, I would tell them to, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna let out the secrets for free. When someone wants to know how to get stronger, bigger, faster, or whatever, they would just tell it to me. I would let them know that. I'm not gonna let you know for free though. I'm gonna pay for that, baby. Anyways, because of that growth, I would know what I was doing. So for month 1 to 3, I was growing. I was learning, and then in months 3 to 6, I actually knew what I was doing. I had a stable schedule. Then months 6 to 9, I was coming closer to the end of my first deployment, and I got the option to stay another rotation. I was like, let me think. Would it be good for me if I were to stay another rotation? Not even just for my physique, but for the money as well. Who doesn't love money? But overall, I wanted to get the gains for free. And my gym membership was too much. So I was like, you know what? This will probably help me for my personal life. It'll be good. Sure, I'll go for it. And I got selected and I was able to stay in the rotation. Now this second rotation, it was crazy. A lot of stuff happened. with my job that I was doing, I was busy almost every single day. So the fact that I was actually able to maintain my mass and what I was doing, I'm thankful that my leadership and my higher ups were able to do the admin stuff for the most part, and then I was able to do the physical work. So if anything, I was getting stronger and leaner because of the hot heat in Africa. So I actually knew what I was doing for this. So I actually knew what I was doing from this first deployment, and from the second deployment, I seen a lot more growth, and I also documented a lot more too, which is the big mistake I made for the first deployment. I didn't document as much. But for the second rotation, oh man, I made sure I was documenting almost every single thing. So I can have B-roll footage like this. I can have footage like this. I can have stuff to put in the video so you can actually watch the video and not get bored of me staring at you and talking to you for the whole entire 10 minutes. Anyways, I had footage, I seen the growth, I seen the documentation of myself, and I was able to figure out this is actually good for me. This stable, constant rate, and because of the schedule change that I had, I was actually seeing more growth. Because of the previous deployment that I had, I was working overnight. It wasn't good for my health. I was trying to maintain what I was trying to do, but my body was like, this is not natural for yourself, man. This is not good. This whole graveyard shift thing is not good for you. And I pushed through it, and I made sure that the second rotation, which was a regular 9 to 5, for the most part, it was good. You're gonna have your late nights here and there, but I made sure it was good. And the food that I was eating, oh man, the thing I was doing for the second rotation, I was having 3 to 4 meals. Because the first one was 4 to 5, but the second rotation was 3 to 4 meals. But I was doing a lot more cardio because of my job. I was always walking around, lifting heavy stuff, moving around for the most part, right? And like I said, I can't get into too much details of what I was doing. It may not be it's probably confidential. I probably signed some random contract, which I've done with the military as well. And I think if I say the wrong thing, someone who knows me is going to watch my video and be like, oh my God, he said something bad. He did something bad. He's shown something. He said something. Let's go report him. But no, I'm not going to say anything bad. So don't even worry about that person who knows me who's watching this video. Anyways, the second rotation, I was eating 3 to 4 meals. I was doing good. And then I was preparing for the comeback for this because I've always wanted to make YouTube content. I just said, if I'm going to make YouTube content, I want to have footage of myself actually proving and showing the work that I was doing. So I was eating a lot of meals, training hard. I was doing 2-a-days sometimes as well, working out twice a day. I was doing some martial arts. I got into boxing for a little bit. They had boxing classes. And who knew martial arts can be so hard? I also did Jiu-Jitsu for a month or 2, and then I was focusing on school, so I couldn't do that. I was maintaining my diet, man. I was tracking it. I was making sure that I was working hard. So because I was working hard and I was making sure that I was having a good diet, I wanted myself to look good. I wanted myself to have a nice physique, and I definitely made sure of that for sure. So the second rotation, I was able to overcome work that I was doing, still maintain the physique that I had, and eventually look like really good because towards the ending, I got really lean. So for the second rotation, month 1 to 3, I kind of already knew what I was doing. I already know the base already. Months 3 to 6, I was bulking up just a teensy bit. I was maintaining towards the beginning, and now I was starting to bulk up. Then months 6 to 9, I was making sure that I was cutting down a little bit. I had to cut down. I wanted to look good. I was planning for it. I came back around earlier this year, not too long ago actually, and I want to look good for the summertime because this is the thing where I'm going to look good. I want to look, because when you look good, you feel good, you do good, you act good, it's just everything. It becomes a part of you. And if you're just that small percentage of a person who actually takes care of their physique and their health, you stand out the most. Because everywhere I go, I was called Mr. Protein. I was the protein guy. They were just making all kinds of jokes. They were just messing with me. If anyone who's been in the military knows, you're always gonna mess with someone. You're always gonna just tease people and everything like that. And overall, I did have a good time. No, I didn't. There was parties and stuff like that on base. I didn't go on any of them. For my previous video, you're probably gonna see that I was talking about I don't party, I don't do anything. I was a homebody. I was going to my room, go to work, hit the gym. I was just doing that every single day. Because by the time the second rotation was happening, I was like, I gotta go home. Too much is going on. I gotta go home. I don't like it. But it was work. They always say it was work. And I'm just glad because now I'm actually, no, but I'm just glad because now I'm actually able to make content like this, have money like this, to show the people who are probably in my age group or age bracket, maybe younger or older, doesn't even matter, that you can do good. It's not too late to start it out at all. I'm telling you, it really isn't. But anyways, guys, if you guys like this video and you learned something, make sure you like and subscribe, follow my Instagram as I'm trying to grow there as well. And as always, I'm always trying to inspire at least one person who may come across my video. As always, guys, have a good one. Take care of yourselves and love your family. Peace.